We're back. Thank you. I don't know. Let's say to BetterHelp, even if they're not sponsoring this week. Thank you to BetterHelp either way.
BetterHelp.
Thank you
guys
for listening.
And thank you to the
so many
Patreons. I
people
guess you
out
guys
there.
are the Patreons are always sponsors
Like
of the
and
show.
subscribe.
Kamar, can I get a name and a number, please?
1835 Mac Judge. That was my best Hank Hill, which wasn't mentioned at all in this.
So just before
Damn
we
it,
start,
Bobby.
90
why
minutes?
did you guys hate it so much?
This guy's the most monotone. Like the fact that this guy writes comedy is beyond me.
That's the weird thing. It does seem like there's a funny bone in his body, but Joe's main focus was Idiocracy, how he got it right,
Yeah.
yada yada yada. Where I think the real story would have been, which Joe didn't. They didn't talk about it was Silicon Valley.
Oh, that's right. He didn't even talk about Silicon Valley.
And
Well, he was
Mike
there
Judge
for
brought it
22
up.
minutes. So, did he? I don't remember that.
No, it was 90 minutes. It was a 90
Yeah,
minutes. I understand. Exaggeration.
The last time he was on it was short too, wasn't it?
He was,
No, the last time he
guessed
was
it.
with Willie D, and he left after like a half
Right,
hour after not
right,
really
right,
saying
right,
much, right? Like it was more like the introduction. It felt like I don't know. It was weird.
So, how much do you think Mike Judge is worth?
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Well, hold on. This is a tough one because he
I
got
think-
screwed out a lot of his early stuff.
I think Mike Judge is worth $70 million.
I'm gonna
70.
I'm gonna lowball it a little lower than that. I'm gonna say 26.
Simon, 75 million.
Wow, good work, Simon. Wow.
The money game. Hit the music, Matt.
It's like I said, he just doesn't seem like this creative person that's made all these crazy things. And I just think it's a travesty that they didn't talk about Silicon Valley. Where this come from? Are those true stories? Like, it sort of exposed how ridiculous Apple, social media, all the things that Joe constantly,
Well, he was there to plug Beavis and Butthead, right?
their new movie on
Yeah.
Paramount.
That was the point of him being on there. And it just wasn't long enough. Like,
I dare say he doesn't like doing interviews.
I mean, I guess not. Maybe he is. You know what? He was sniffing a lot. Both Matt and I
I
noticed.
wish I'd observed that.
It was
A lot of sniffing. He was either allergic to like Joe's dog or something.
a lot of sniffing.
So much sniffing. Like so much sniffing that it made it hard to listen to the podcast.
But then the wheels were turning in my head, and I was like, if he's on coke, let's just use coke as an example. What is he like not on coke? Because like,
He must be dead.
like, does he do coke to get a pulse to feel something? I don't think it was that. I just
No,
noticed. I was like,
I don't
there
think
was a
he-
shitload of sniffing.
I think he
just
must
wanted
have
to make
been
a joke.
allergic to something, but it was like aggravating. The sniffing was aggravating.
Yeah,
I can't believe I didn't notice the sniffing at all. I'll
I'm
have to
telling
go
you,
back and
it was
listen to
something about the speed. I think because I don't think at a normal speed it would have been
It
probably not even
just
noticeable.
seemed like a normal amount of sniffing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a clicking of something. Like if I clicked a pen every 45 seconds, you might not notice. But if on 3.5 times, where
If
it's
it's
like every
every
10
15,
seconds, you're
yeah.
like, Jesus.
It's true.
He did have the cool story about Beavis and Butthead because Joe was talking about the predatory contracts
Yeah.
companies make. It was like something like $500 for you for the next 7 years or something. And so he did, obviously got a horrible deal from MTV for Beavis
18
and Butthead.
grand.
But some lawyer screwed up a loophole in the contract that they thought many animators, or the time you spend on it, so for every drawing you produce you get 30 cents or $3, whatever it is, and I think that's what he did well on. Otherwise, he
Well-
got totally screwed because I really didn't like.
Well,
Beavis
then
and
they
Butthead.
said when he
Really? You
wanted to
didn't?
make another
Didn't care for
movie,
it.
they needed him to write it and draw it, I guess. Does he draw it also?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I'd say the original. He is a creative. I think he's more of an artist than a joke guy. But King of the Hill, they didn't mention all. I like King of the Hill better than I like Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Beavis and Butthead fan. I never was. Like I always, even when it was on, I found it was like annoying. And then, I don't know.
I know the kids younger than me thought it was.
Well, yeah, I was young.
shit.
So, yeah, I thought it was hilarious.
But King of the
Shut up,
Hill
Beavis.
was okay. It was like an annoying cartoon, though. I don't know. I thought, anyways, like The Simpsons was good, and then this was kind of like meh. But
But-
maybe I was too young.
But Office Space
Hilarious.
Hilarious.
Bobby propane and propane
Yes.
related products.
Yes.
Damn
Thank you,
it.
Bobby. Yeah, I love
Damn
King of
it,
the Hill.
Peggy. Also, who Boomhauer was fucking hilarious. Dang, but dang,
Yeah.
this man don't even
I bet watching it now, I'd appreciate it
a little more. Yeah, probably. Office Space, hilarious. Again, Office Space was from an SNL short.
Or was it?
Milton.
Was it
That-
SNL?
he is
Are you
the-
sure it was SNL?
Yeah, it was SNL.
Mike
Milton.
Judge worked for SNL?
No, he did he just had this short, Milton. I swear to God, if they don't give me back my stapler, I'm gonna burn down the
And so that
whole
movie's
building.
actually built all around him,
Yep.
even though it's just from the perspective
Precisely,
of
yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Learn
a
something
great,
new every
It
day.
is a great movie, though. It is really funny. It holds up. It's
Dude, the scene where Michael Bolton is rapping Ghetto Boys in his car, and then the black panhandler walks up and he turns it down and locks his door. Fucking hilarious.
Do you guys remember when the lockdown started March 13th, 2020?
no.
Yeah.
Did you remember, though, it was a Friday the 13th?
I don't remember that
Really?
specifically,
Yeah.
no.
Wow.
That's sort of weird, eh?
That's ironic.
A bad
China was like, you know what would be funny?
omen. Joe,
It would be weird if it started on April Fool's Day, I guess. What?
they talked about
I wish I had the car crash button on
it
here.
would be better. It would be better.
That was a very funny joke, Simon.
They talked about
Just, how people talk more than they want to listen. That's Kamar's problem.
I
He
laughed.
was already on to the next fucking point he wanted to make. Sorry, go ahead, Kamar.
didn't let it-
Maestro.
I
Go
di-
ahead.
I didn't let it sink in. They talked about how big music videos were.
Huge. They also ruined music.
I love the Coca-Cola countdown every week.
The Coca-Cola countdown.
But Joe forgot about a lot of shit on MTV. Like they had The Real World, which was huge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They had tons of hits.
But
Tons of hits.
First of all, he forgot the Jackass.
It was the best as. Well, they just mentioned that for a second because that's where it came
No,
from.
it became huge as yes, it started as music videos, but it was equally as big as a TV network, I think.
Either way, you know what?
With the Road Rules and all their crazy reality shows right when reality was at its height.
Either way, if we're looking at it the wrong way, some executive over there, let's just say I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Some executive saw the writing on the wall. Because if you think about it, YouTube comes along and crushes them overnight if they don't.
Yeah, so
if they
instead of
hadn't
going
shifted,
obsolete like Blockbuster,
This is
they
what I'm saying.
fucking
They
pivot
shifted.
and turn themselves into an equally massive entity.
Or they could have bought YouTube.
yeah, sure. But my point is like without
That's
the
interesting.
So could you have, I guess.
No, I could not have. I
it's a
did not
billion
have
short,
network money.
billion short.
I-
No, you're
I
right though.
wish.
Yeah, I guess they could have. This, yeah,
Just like the Netflix blockbuster
yeah,
thing.
yeah. I mean, the craziest one, if you look into it, is I think it was Yahoo acquiring. I can't remember what it was. Someone offered to buy Yahoo for like a couple $2 billion, and they said no. And then 5 years later,
They're out of
Yahoo was
business.
sold for like $200 million or something like that.
Love those stories.
I've been watching a lot of Shark Tank
Yeah.
and Dragon's Den and those things just on YouTube, the clips. And the guy goes on. This is like early on. He's got this
Is it Shark Tank or Dragon's Den? Do you remember?
Dragon's Den.
Okay, good.
He's
Yeah.
got this doorbell camera thing that they all fucking laugh out of the place.
Yeah, and now it's worth $100 billion.
It ends up being
Ring.
It gets bought by Sir Richard Branson and then sold to Amazon for like 94 billion or something. Like
Nas was a huge investor in that.
hilarious, man.
That would be nice.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
I was going to retort to Joe, though. Music videos are still huge. Like, there's certain producers, like, if they put out a music video, it's an event. I'd almost argue Mr. Beast is almost in the vein of music videos. Like, that short content.
It's just different now with the internet. Like, yes, they're still big. It's just different. Before, when they came out, it was like, I don't know. There were so few videos that
and
everything was
access
a big
was
deal.
so you could only see it when it was on.
And
unless you had your
remember how
Betamax going.
remember watching MTV, well, for us, Much Music, and you would have to go through like 20 pieces of shit songs before something even remotely good for you came on. You know what I mean? It's like the radio.
Well, I grew up listening to rap, so you got
Oh,
30
you-
minutes. You got 30 minutes a week on Much Music.
You
Rap
could
City.
only
That was it.
MTV Raps.
I
And it
remember
wasn't
when
30 minutes because the guy talked in between. So
Yeah.
It was 5 songs, I think.
I remember. Yeah, you're right. I remember when BET came out and they had Rhapsody the Basement. That was like 99. That was a game changer for
People
me.
would tape those for sure.
I had my like cassette thing set up to the TV, and that the worst though, Kamar, was I grew up with all like clean, because I would just make mixtapes with clean TV edits. It was the worst way to
so
listen
you
to
didn't
music.
even know they had
Think
swear
about how
words in
think
them?
about how good you could do it today with a computer editing tools.
Oh, it's insane. I mean, you can.
But why would you? Because you have access to all the music now.
I will say though, like even you know what, Kamar, like having the Roadcaster, for example, there's a lot of music that isn't on Spotify. And like I can just rip it off that, right? Like I play it on YouTube to that, save it as an MP3. It's
But
like-
you don't need to. I mean,
yeah, I do. Some of it you do.
you can't stream it.
No, there's a lot of stuff that you could only get. Like, say you can only get something on YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't want to use data all the time, and YouTube has that shitty. You have to keep it open to listen to something.
I don't have that problem.
Why? Because you're premium.
Yeah, I can download and it plays with other things. So, I was thinking I don't understand, but now I understand.
Kamar doesn't get ads on YouTube and he doesn't get ads on Pornhub.
There you go.
Oh, I get ads on Pornhub.
It's good though. They're ads for more porn, so it's automatically directed
Membership
at something.
has its privileges.
Yeah.
I was hoping when Joe asked him like, "What's it like when you finish a project?" Especially it was Beavis and Butthead, but it was just a in general question. When do you know something's done?
Yeah.
Editing, whatever. But I think Joe's experienced that with a couple comedy specials. I imagine that's sort of the same thing.
Yeah, but I'm always curious to know, because I'm sure it's different for everyone, how much time the comedian spends in the editing bay, if any.
I was brought into any form. Like, how do you know when an album's done?
How do you know when a painting's done?
Again,
How do you know when a novel should be done?
well, the novel, hopefully you get to an end. I mean, he could keep, but if
But even then, the novel's going to get edited down by an editor, right? Move this, take this out, that sort of thing.
but
So
you
it's-
still know when it's done,
yeah.
and everything you have to know when it's done.
You just know, or you get bored, or I don't know.
And do you take a feeling with it?
I mean, I've always wondered with albums, because you'll be like, you'll an album will come out, and then like a year later, it'll be like, oh, here's 2 unreleased songs from that album, and you're like, these 2 are incredible. How did they not make it on? Usually it's like a sample or something, but you're always like,
The decision
where
had
did
to be
yeah
made.
I think
14
you'd be
tracks.
surprised exactly, or how much of it comes down to an editor, or how much of it even comes down to like the artist just got bored doing that certain thing, whatever it was, and was like, okay, I've had enough of this, you know?
Well, Kamar, like you said, Joe's mentioned it many times that like every time he's done a special, he's then like watched it and said, oh, that could have been punched up, or now I've thought of a better premise. So
And I thought Joe was going to say, I know exactly, but he seemed like he was an alien. Just
That's why artists like painting in oils, because they stay wet for so long that you can
change
keep
your mind.
changing and working and doing. And
I also think with Joe, like when he does a special, he has one job, and then there's maybe like the editing, and after that it's done. Whereas I think with an animated series, there's so many moving parts that I think that's where Joe's like, how do you know? I don't know. I don't know. Because I mean, where does it end? Like,
I think it's just an interesting question to think about with anything. Who decided? Like, I think Rick Rubin, that might be his role. He lets it just play. Says, okay.
I wish
good to
I had
go
this
now.
great Rick Rubin quote about how he was like, the art is never done. I can't remember the quote, so I'm just going to butcher it. It won't matter.
nice story.
But look into it. Thanks, Simon. You fucking Jew.
Have you guys both seen The Unforgiven?
Yeah, of course. Oh,
That's
here
the
we go.
sign of a small man.
It's the JRE movie game. The time has come again. For Matt and Simon to rack their brains to guess the budget in the box office. We all know they won't guess the
No.
year, and the Patreons are the real winners here at the JRE movie game. Come on, take it away, baby.
It's the movie game. Where Simon and Matt go head to head to see what year a movie came out, how much it cost to make, and how much it made at the box office. This week we're doing the
You don't have to say any of that. It's all implied in the song.
Unforgiven.
I gotta say something.
2 apologies need to be made.
I have to make them both.
Well, I have to make one to Tyler. Tyler, I'm sorry.
my bad.
Because I knew deep down that you wouldn't have hated on me like that. But Matt, Go ahead with all your
Yeah, no, I
apologies now.
apologize to. Oh no, the card's out. That sucks.
Are we still
Shit.
recording?
Yeah, everything's still recording. There's just going to be a big gap in the fucking video. I apologize to Tyler because, yeah, I messed the movie game song up. Simon, you need a piece of paper, don't you?
Yeah,
You
please.
didn't sing it correctly?
No, you gave me all those props. I said
When I heard Matt sing
Sounded
it,
like
I
a
said,
bar.
Tyler said that I will never get it right.
They'll both never get it right.
I said
And
Simon.
I
we
told
all
him he
know.
was dead
we all
to
know
me.
Simon won't guess the year.
But that wasn't
the
it.
line is we all know they won't guess the year. It's
Yes,
both of
you
us.
see?
But Freudian slip was like, I know Simon will never get it. Wow.
Yeah, so I just said
Whatever he
said in
did.
my head, Simon sucks.
Yeah,
So
can I
yeah,
get
I got a
Sharpie?
Sharpie here
Thank
for you.
you.
Let me go fix this stupid video. There's gonna
Yeah,
be
so anyways, Tyler, you have my apologies, but really it was Matt who threw us all under the bus in one swift motion.
I just want to apologize to fucking no one. This week we're doing Unforgiven.
Is that what you, because I haven't seen it, so that kind of fucks up your whole thing, eh? Maybe you should check before you go,
You've never seen the Unforgiven. Sorry, I sound like an old man. It's just Unforgiven.
Oh, I've seen it. I'm just trying to teach you a lesson.
Of
Respect, Kamar. Respect. Put some respect on my name.
directed by Clint Eastwood, starring Clint Eastwood, Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman, and Richard Harris. It's a story of revenge. They both talked about it with reverence. And I mean, it was a huge movie.
Oh my god, what fucking year did this come out? I have a year. I'm ready.
I have a year also.
Be careful what they say.
I said 1996.
I said 2000.
1992.
Oh, wow. It was really old.
I thought Simon was going to get that. I thought he was
We
gonna
all know Simon won't guess the year.
he was going to get Mike Judge's salary right.
They
Right.
won't guess the year, Matt, because you also missed the year. Fucking idiot.
He won't.
You were 8 years off.
That's what he should have said. That'd be the most advisive lyric. We both know he won't get it right. Who are you talking about?
What? Who?
So the year was 1992.
The year was 1992.
So scurry off to all your little cheating notes there, Matt. Well, I used the Rolodex of my brain to figure this out.
Do you? Simon, first of all, I
If
always,
we were playing a board game,
I always share the
imagine we
info.
were playing Trivial Pursuit and Matt just pulls out a book with all different answers to the questions
Oh,
in
we're
the
still
book.
going on
That
that.
would be crazy. People would riot at
I
the
love
game
that-
table.
I love that
I see.
this guy takes notes on a dirty lunch bag, and that's why he's pissed at me for having a fucking notebook.
Are your eyes twitching around? Look at years and numbers to get things.
Well, the funniest thing is, I was gonna say I always share the information with Simon, but because he's being such a fucking dick
I don't
today,
want the information.
I
I
don't
want to go
want
into
the
the game
information.
as it was
Yeah,
intended.
I don't
you
want
just
the
wanna- you
information.
just wanna-
Again,
fair
sign of a
game.
small man when you have to resort to the sound of people's voices and their race or ethnicity.
Oh, you aren't a race.
Okay, do you really want to go there?
Yeah, let's do this. Let's
We have
have it out,
similar
Ari.
we have similar traits.
Okay.
You would know because you make fun of said similar traits. Again,
You would
small
know.
man, small man, small man. Sorry, let me
movie is this?
let me get
Unforgiven.
a year here or
No, you got. You,
yeah, I got the year
did get the
1992. I'm good.
I was
I'm
17
good.
years old, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I had
I'm
to
ready.
see this.
I'm
I
ready.
had to see this in the theater.
I'm ready. Je suis prêt, as Kamar would say.
Okay, I'm going with just instinct here.
Okay.
Nothing but instinct. Okay, so cheaters first. Go ahead, Matt.
Isn't that the Jews? 26.4 to make, 192 at the box office.
Well, we are very close. Very close. I said 21 to make and 232 at the box office. Do we have a winner, Kamar?
No, we don't. Budget 14.4 million.
Wow, Simon wins that.
Box office 159.2 million.
Wow. I mean, good our return on
No,
investment.
it
but
all worked out for it. It did not
That's
work
a
out for
great
you guys.
ROI. Are you kidding?
not
me?
not
Great
the
ROI.
blockbuster I thought.
That's why Clint Eastwood can say whatever he wants.
I don't particularly like black people.
Do you think, here's a question, and maybe we could do a double movie game. $1 Million Baby, do you think it did better or worse return on investment?
It did.
What? Beavis and Butthead?
It did worse.
$1 Million Baby.
It did worse.
It did better.
I also think it did better.
Pull it up, Kamar. Well, we're talking about ROI, so it's a percentage,
Are
right?
we going to do the movie game?
No.
No.
Kamar's just going to pull it up. Well, this is the game in itself.
Boring. I think it made. Oh yeah, I guess it is the movie game. Go ahead, Kumar.
Oh,
$1 Million Baby.
Oh, no, here, let's take a guess. Fine, quickly. Take a guess. Not the year. Oh, you want to do the year? Fine. I'm
Yeah.
going to say it came out in...
I got a
08.
year.
08.
06.
2004, Simon.
Oh,
Oh,
so
fucking
close.
knock it on heaven's
Okay.
door.
And I think it cost.
I'm going to say it cost $21 million to make, and it made 160.
Okay, I said it cost 31 to make, and it made 272.
Close, Simon. Budget 30 million.
Whoa!
Wow.
Box office 216 million.
Oh, so it did do better.
16.
216. Yeah,
16.
you wouldn't spot on.
Oh, wait, I don't know. What ROI is better?
That's good enough.
I think it's close.
That's 10 times. Yeah.
I mean, he
Unforgiven's a bit better, but still, it was a
again,
positive.
he's just he makes
he makes
movies
money,
that
yeah.
make money.
He's a movie machine, baby.
Very good, fun times.
That's the movie game. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Tyler.
He mentioned he thinks the Wild West only lasted for like 7 years.
Well, the actual, like, the wildness of the West, yeah. I've read that, too, I thought. That it was only, like, it was a very short period of the...
And I saw an interesting guy say about gun control that even in the Wild West, there were towns where you had to leave your pistol in the lockbox. You couldn't bring it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, those towns were Sorry, just 1 second. Those towns were surviving based on like the gold mines, right?
Yeah.
So as the gold mines ran out of gold, these towns would evaporate. So I imagine then, I don't know, like the old West would still remain because people would live there, but it wouldn't be these booming cities anymore. Sorry, go ahead.
But what does that have to do with the Wild West? He was just talking about the,
Meaning
like, the
that-
lawlessness. And
Meaning
the,
that
There
a
was
lot
still
of those
gun regulations
people
then.
go away at the end. The people who stay are the people who actually want to live the land, you know?
Just living on the. Oh,
But they followed the gold around these lawless people. It was like following drugs around.
it was a quick period though in our things. It takes 100 years to get places.
that is interesting, though, Kamar, that, like, even back then, they were like, well, we can't just have you at the saloon with your gun.
In some places, but again, that was
Yes.
lessons they had to learn, right?
No, I know, I get it. I'm
I'm
just...
sure
he was,
varied state by state.
yeah, he's just... Yeah, of course you can bring your gun in the
It was
saloon.
just an example of gun control.
After the bartender lost like 16 waitresses, he was like, this is ridiculous.
But
Yeah.
then I wondered if the Wild West predated the Constitution, and then that's even like there was always a sense of some sort
It
of
did
gun control.
predate the
So there you
Constitution,
go.
didn't it?
So there's
I don't think so.
Gun control.
Oh, no,
is
it
American.
didn't. It didn't.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
of
I don't
What
course
was the
not.
Constitution?
Because
1776?
they had laws. I don't know.
Well, that was the forming of the... 1776 is when...
They had to have
When
laws.
was the Cowboys?
They
What
had laws
year?
That was like
Wild West.
1880.
See, that is crazy to think that was only,
120 years ago,
well, more than that.
140 years ago.
Whatever. But it's not that long. It's 2 people.
Yeah. Sound like Joe over here.
2.5 people.
Well, it's like, didn't someone on Joe mention the other day that, like, someone's grandfather who died at like 112 was like in the Civil War or something like that? You know what I mean? So that's how close we are to the Civil War.
And Cowboys and Indians, which is just wrong now.
Cowboys and First Nations.
I played that part. That's what I meant to say. You guys love Mr. Bean? Hate Mr. Bean?
Hate Mr. Bean.
Hate Mr. Bean.
I
like-
can't watch him now, but growing up, that was fucking hilarious.
I didn't like him. I like him as the voice of Zazu in The Lion King.
I did not know that was him. I don't know what that is.
That's the bird.
I know Lion King is. I liked him as
No,
Black
I'm
Adder.
telling you who Zazu was.
I liked him as Black Adder.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see that show?
I
Yeah,
didn't
of
love
course,
it,
yeah.
Red Dwarf.
Yeah, that's
I
too
didn't see Red
Britishy.
Dwarf.
It's all too
He
British.
wasn't in it, but I was just trying to talk about those things. I always was waiting for it'd be the next Monty Pythons. I thought they were always very funny. I really like British culture.
I do
Well,
too.
maybe you should move there.
Someone adopt me. Physical
Well,
performance.
maybe you should move there.
physical performance comedy is also sort of like a gamble. Like even Bill Burr is very physical.
I know what you mean. He's not.
They're
He's,
talking about people
Not
falling
like
down,
Mr. Bean
hitting their
is.
head. No,
not
no,
like
no.
Chevy Chase is.
Yeah.
Not.
Was
who
What
was
do you,
that? Who
what
was
do you
the-
think of Joe's whole theory on Chevy Chase?
I like it.
Like, is it not possible he's just an asshole?
That too.
Yep.
Like, some people can be an asshole without having CTE.
But it's impossible. He's an asshole because he has CT.
Yeah, I mean-
Or he's lacking self awareness.
I remember watching the documentary on what's his name there, the heavyset guy.
Chris Farley.
No, before Chris Farley,
John
John
Belushi.
Candy.
Belushi,
Yep.
and
Comes to mind.
I don't think Chevy Chase. I think he was like always kind of a dick.
He was a stud, man. He was Fletch. He was Fletch.
I think he always thought he was like a better comedian than everybody, and so I don't think it has anything to do with CT. Anyways, that's my personal stupid opinion.
Speaking of CT, did you hear Tony Segura just passed away
Oh, the Goose.
from Baltimore?
Siragusa.
Who is Tony's?
The
Siragusa.
Goose. He played for. He won a championship with the Ravens. He was a linebacker.
I thought he was
The-
talking about like
no, like
Tom
Segura's.
Segura's
Yeah,
dad
yeah.
or
No,
something.
his dad
do
did
not
die
say
a
his
couple
name.
months ago, though. No, he's talking about the Goose, Tony Siragusa. You know who else died the same day? Like a 26-year-old that played for the Ravens also died.
He's 50. He's 26. I hope it's from anything but CTE. But I'm starting to think, and it's pretty obvious, like I might have trouble getting older watching football, knowing what's like it's the end of someone's life.
I mean, hold on. When Joe was talking about football, you and I have watched football for long enough to know that the game now is nowhere near what it was 20 years ago.
As violent?
Yes.
It doesn't matter. It's just
No,
all the
it's
continued.
different.
Hold on.
It's
It's
not even
different.
violence.
It's
It's,
safer.
just
It's
continued
safer. It's safer,
CTE.
but still the play that to happen, and sometimes these crazy injuries happen in a incomplete pass or something. Like
But
it's-
you love watching fighting, and fighting really probably shouldn't be a thing, you know?
I love watching fighting, and it.
I think
be
the
a
argument
thing.
though is like a guy like Khabib probably didn't take a lot of fucking shots to the head in his career. You know what I mean? He fought like
No, but what about a guy like,
yeah. There's certain guys that
you
are
know,
probably
Tony Ferguson?
yeah for
Yeah,
sure.
he's going to be messed. Well,
Probably currently
he's
suffering
all-
from
he
CTE.
already seems
So
like he's a
yeah,
little bit
like
messed up.
a great example, Simon.
And Eddie Bravo doesn't get hit ahead and seems like he's got a
Oh, yeah, he's fucking
solid head on his shoulder.
quick as a fox.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it is interesting though, Kamar, because even as kids running around, and like the older you are, probably the less safe your surroundings were as a kid. Like we all took many falls as kids, like smashing your head and just getting up and running it off. Like how many fucking coaches did you grow up with or gym teachers that were like walk it off, you know, for whatever it was? Again, I know that you guys say it was like a short sleep, but before I fell into a coma, the teacher was like, get up and walk to the office.
I'm saying it's no joke, and I wonder if, as these young guys keep dying and stuff, if it's going to affect like. It's sad, man. It's sad because, like I said, it's not for the championship or something. It's
Yeah.
just. I guess it's for a lot of money.
No, but it's like
And
leaded
entertainment.
It's like leaded paint. You know what I mean? Like, what if we find out that 40% of us are walking around with CTE and it's like causing all sorts of issues? You know what I mean? Like,
we have a new excuse.
And maybe by the time they get to the NFL, it's way too late anyways. Like, you
It
know,
probably
going
is.
through all that junior football and stuff, it's just
just college.
it's that's why they call it a factory.
But I guess it doesn't happen that much, but it's going to happen eventually if you play long enough.
keep in mind too, Kamar, those guys back in the day, there was no such thing as concussion protocol. You didn't leave the fucking game.
So, well, yeah, fair enough. We'll see now if it's gotten safer. And
hear me out.
We're
I'm not-
watching a pandemic of the old way of doing
An
it.
epidemic.
All I'm saying is this.
Epidemic.
All I'm saying is this is 20 years from now, we might see that as opposed to 98% of NFL players having it, maybe we'll only see like 75 just because of the new stuff, the new equipment, you know. I don't think it'll go away like you're saying. It's still
Oh no, it won't go away. It may go for me though.
I mean, you could argue that maybe riding a horse would do the same thing if a jet ski does it, right? Like,
And I don't watch that.
Yeah, people get CTE from jet skiing, but not at the levels that you get it from or any sort of football, I would imagine.
well, you'd never know because there isn't enough money. Like the NFL now has to spend money looking into CTE. There's no billion-dollar corporation looking at jet skiers, right? So there's no reason to cut their brains open.
Jet ski is the name of the company.
Yes, it is. Yes. No, it isn't. It's Sea-Doo. It's not jet ski. There might be a company called Jet Ski, but I know Sea-Doo or Ski-Doo. Sorry, Sea-Doo.
Sea-Doo.
Sea-Doo, yeah.
Ski-Doo is...
Winter.
Joe says it was antelope ceviche. I think it has to be fish to be ceviche. Maybe the guy at the restaurant called it ceviche.
It would be...
I think hold on.
tartar, exactly.
No, because the whole idea of ceviche is that the citrus and the lime is cooking the meat.
Oh,
Cooking the
interesting.
fish,
Yeah,
though.
So that's what I'm saying is it could be antelope ceviche.
No.
I think maybe it could cook the meat.
I think ceviche is fish, and that's a
I'm
stylized
going to
thing.
find out right
I'll put it to you this way, Kamar. I agree with you in the sense that, like, you know, like a vegan burger to me isn't a burger. It's meat in between two buns and whatever you want to put in between it. You can still call it a burger if you want, but at that point, it's more just a
There you
sandwich.
go.
But
That's a bridge.
I'm just saying,
That's
yes,
a bridge.
I'm just saying, ceviche itself might just be the act of
No,
of
it's like
cooking.
it's like a word from another country.
No, I get it, but I'm just yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, some old grandmother might have been like a ceviche is where I cook meat using. You know what I mean? We don't know the origins of it. You're more likely right than not.
It's
but
any raw meat appetizer. Come on,
Boom!
totally
Like,
wrong.
he goes down in flames.
it's
Or
any.
Matt is wrong. Any, yeah.
What do you mean? No. Why am I wrong?
He's correct.
Oh, you
I'm
are wrong. You are wrong.
Yeah. You're just
Like
so
I
used.
said in the first place.
You're just so used to telling me I'm wrong.
I just do
I
somebody
sound
was
so
wrong.
stupid.
Right?
I
Simon's
sound so
happy.
stupid. Would you guys have a problem with wild game being served?
So wait, then hold on. I hate to cut you off. What is the difference between tartar then?
It's not cooked with
Not cooked with lemon. It's just raw.
pepper, spices.
So say that again though. The ceviche is
Any dish where the lemon, I believe,
okay.
is
Yeah. So it is
cooking
okay. Fair enough. Yeah. That's fine.
made as. Hold on a second.
I got
don't know if
schooled,
that's
man.
right. Hold
I
on.
got
Hold
schooled.
on.
I got schooled, man.
Good thing you guys are here.
By the way, free plug.
Yeah,
Have you
it's
guys
with
tried
lime
Torta
juice.
Boys?
I hear that's good.
Kamar, go this week at lunch. It's on Le Breton.
It's that good, Matt.
It's really fucking good.
Breton.
It's Kamar. It's on a street where you would be driving down the street and you'd be like, I'm on the wrong street. There's no restaurant on this street.
It's near the city center.
No, it's near, like, if you were driving down Somerset,
Yeah.
like just like pretty much in the heart of Chinatown.
Yeah.
You
It's
take
a food truck.
It used to be a food truck. Now they have a food truck and an actual. Anyway, this is terrible podcasting.
What is it?
They make a Mexican sandwich. It's fucking incredible.
I'll go there right now.
Oh, do it, dude. It's incredible.
So I got served on ceviche. Would you have a problem with wild game being served?
Back. Hold on. Kamara is right. It's
here we
only
go.
fish.
Here we go. Well, what's going on here?
Ceviche, a South American dish of marinated raw fish or seafood, typically garnished and served as an appetizer. So hold on. Now,
As usual, the internet is giving us conflicting. Like I said, Kamar, you're probably right. It probably has to be fish. But it doesn't mean that some white person couldn't go, I can cook this antelope with.
It should be. He should have said ceviche methwaz.
Sorry, what were you saying? Wild game? I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I don't either. And I think
As long as it's not endangered.
no, it'd be deer from around here.
Yeah,
or
why would
stuff.
you have a problem with that? Yeah.
Roadkill? It would have to be hunted.
Why? I don't. To me, I don't know why you'd want to eat roadkill. It seems like
tartar, meat, ceviche, fish. Kamar, you have our deepest apologies.
you
I
have his
feel like I want to
apologies.
argue back now. I got serious so hard that I was wrong. Simon, you have no problem with hunted wild game being served in restaurants? Like, would
No,
you love
what's the fucking difference?
love to be able to go to elk? I mean,
Love to go
the
to
grocery
elk.
store and get elk, especially some.
Wouldn't you be able to love to go to
backstraps
elk?
that-
I'd like to be able to buy that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't understand what's the different. Oh, I do know the
I'm
difference.
sure it's conservation.
They can't do it that way. They'd run out of animals. It would be. But if they want to raise elk to be killed the same way they raise cows, I know. You see, I don't like that either, man.
It's got to be wild.
If you want to eat wild meat, you got to go and hunt it yourself, I guess.
But if someone hunts enough and they
No, but to serve at a restaurant, I would
guess-
be okay with that. But to buy at a supermarket, you're going to run into the same problem, right?
I don't know, but I bet on reservations you can get restaurants might have
Well, they can do
game.
whatever they want on the
Yeah,
reserve,
yeah.
obviously. Yeah.
I'm gonna do some research. I know some people.
It's like the weed market. You go to the fucking reserve and it is
It's wide open with
it is-
fireworks.
it is whatever you want.
24 hours a day.
They're like, do you want a CBD slushy with like 40% weed? You're like, what? Yeah. Fire me up too. I'm driving out of here.
They talked about
They touched about.
human interference in ecosystems, the toads in
The
Australia
king toads in
and the right
Australia.
place.
Yeah.
How long do you think it would take? Because I think it would take like a summer, and like roads would be overgrown that you could not tell they were there.
Yeah, you've mentioned this.
One summer.
Yeah,
No, it's longer than that.
Roads
yeah,
would be overgrown.
yeah.
No.
No, you know how long it takes for the weeds to come up through the asphalt?
Just the grass itself just keeps growing.
Oh, just over and over.
It would. I'm telling you, it gets long.
Yeah, I mean,
quick,
one summer it would get pretty fucking long,
and nothing driving on it.
but you'd still be able to drive through it because it would be flopping.
Hold on. You're
over,
saying
you
that
know?
the roads, like Bank Street, would be overgrown?
No,
no,
not
no.
Bank Street.
He
There's
means like the highways
Carling,
and
Carling
stuff.
for sure. Highways too.
Carling. Where on Carling do you think is going to be overrun
From
by?
the from
Where on the highway?
from
You think the highways-
Melrose
you think in
to
one summer
Island
the
Park,
highway is gonna be
that
covered in
whole
grass?
island would grow this way. All the lawns on the other side would grow that way.
I don't know.
That area in particular. But have you ever seen someone's yard? If they don't,
Yeah, like
you
delinquent
notice
yard,
it. You notice it. But maybe it take many summers.
I
Pardon
feel
me.
like Kamar's talking about his own yard.
What happens to grass if you don't cut it? I don't know because we cut all grass.
I mean, I don't know.
It
No, because
falls,
there's
dies, more comes.
there's
Well, I
Kumar,
don't-
there's places in Ottawa where the city like leaves the grass and you can see it.
Look,
I think
certain grasses grow to be tall. The grass on your lawn, I don't know if that's ever going to grow to be like 10 feet
Two
tall.
summers.
You know?
2 summers.
he's
roads will
adding
be
a summer. now.
overgrown.
He's adding a summer.
Listen, I agree with you. It won't take long for everything to just disappear.
And what about
Can
this?
I ask you a question first?
Sorry.
What about in Canada? Like, would it affect the fact that the snow sits on it for 6 months and then it has to?
Well, what would happen as well, which I forgot, is there'd be no leaf removal.
Yeah,
A lot, like so.
yeah, all
leaf,
that organic shit
all
just
that
lays. Yeah,
composting.
would get on the roads.
Compostable. Compostable. Whatever the word
Two
is.
years, no humans. It'd be hard to recognize anything.
No
I think
power.
hard to recognize anything is a bit of a
no
stretch.
power, no humans.
Like Kamar, if you were, I don't know, you're in a coma for 2 years on life support. You wake up, there's no one left. I think you could still navigate through Ottawa to like get back to your home.
If you had, like,
there's
a truck.
landmarks.
Well, I'm just-
but I just you would. What happened to the road?
Yeah,
that's what I
yeah,
think. I really think.
I still don't think the highway was a good example.
No, not the highway. I was just saying Carling. But no, the highway. Yes, the highway on up to Almont.
Sure, like the
Not
7 or
not the
something. I
Queens
get what you're
way, but
saying. Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah,
highways for sure.
I
For
agree.
sure.
I agree,
You,
Kamar.
you would not be. You can still drive on a car, maybe a truck, but you could not see the surface. It would
I
just
swear,
be.
Kamar brings this up once every 2 episodes. He's once every 2 episodes. He's like, "Do you
The-
guys know what
the
would
They brought it
happen?"
up.
apocalypse?
They brought it up. They brought it up.
Well, listen, Joe's totally prepared for it. He's got that truck he retrofitted. The,
There's lots of people
Land Rover
prepared
or
for it.
whatever.
And
No.
lots of people don't even need roads. Horses, you're back in business. Which horses supersede energy if the energy runs out?
Do you guys know how to ride horses?
You get on its back and you.
I don't know. Have you
ridden-
ever ridden horses?
I've ridden a horse
Like,
once.
One time.
No. I've jumped on the back of a wild horse once. It wasn't wild, but I didn't think.
You jumped on the back of a wild horse.
And I've ridden a horse 3
I
or
don't
4
believe
times.
this
No, I'm gonna
story
have
at
to
all.
hear that
Yeah,
story,
I don't believe
please.
this.
Yeah, off a fence onto the back of a horse. Not a
Really?
wild horse. It was in a
Oh,
stable.
wait, it went from
Yeah, yeah.
wild
but it
to
wasn't saddled.
You jumped onto its back.
Yes.
And rode it around.
No, it threw me off. But I'm just saying.
Wow, you're an idiot. Eh?
been in
You
the
were one
rough.
of those idiot kids.
idiot. Eh?
Well, what a stupid
No,
idea.
you feel like you're vibing. You're like 19 years old.
You were 19 years old
Yeah,
when you
for
did
sure,
this?
For sure. In Pemberton, British Columbia.
Well, you must have been on acid or something.
Maybe mushrooms. But so you just feel like the world is yours.
I could see on mushrooms maybe you felt like a connection to the horse, but that's just a dumb idea, man.
You felt a connection to the horse.
You're lucky that horse didn't trample you to death.
Joe has such a disdain for the sitting and waiting to hunt, but it's sort of like work harder, smarter, not harder.
I
Am
mean,
I
if
wrong?
you're doing it for food, what do you care?
If you're doing it for food, you're doing it with your tag.
If you're doing it for food, then you're like, what are these idiots doing hiking way out into the woods?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, as long as it just doesn't seem like it's that big a deal, and you still have to do a clean kill.
Simon's driving by Joe and Cam Haynes with 16 elk in the back of his truck. They've got one.
You can only get so many tags.
Simon's smoking a cigarette.
And then
Throws the butt out.
and then
It's a single tear down Cam Haynes' face.
Mike Judge brings up the vermin grenade.
Yeah.
Which did you watch that? It's
Yeah.
just
I
the
did,
thing.
yeah.
And he goes, I mean, he prefaces it by saying, I even showed this in the Silicon Valley writers' room, and nothing.
Oh, Joe hasn't seen it.
I know, but it's
No, we know what this is like. If Joe hasn't seen it, it hasn't
It doesn't
happened.
exist.
Yeah.
it's the best parody of social
what Joe
media
hates,
and the
yes.
world we're involved in right now.
Yeah.
Ever. Like I understand why it isn't on anymore.
And especially since they were talking about
Idiocracy.
idiocracy,
yes.
because he nailed it on I guess, but it was more for the time. But either way, it's such a great portrayal of
People getting
where we
Silicon
are.
Valley, you know?
Oh, I wanted to. It could have been just about Silicon Valley, as far as I'm concerned. And I realized part of the reason the show's not on is everyone got so big, like Kamal Newman-Jami, T.J. Miller,
Not the main guy. He didn't get big.
the main guy.
He's hilarious.
Who is
He
the main
That
guy?
awkward dude there, you know?
He is,
Thomas Middleditch.
he is one
He's
of the
huge.
funniest.
Is he?
He's a crazy improver.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure. Shows you
And,
what I
and
know.
he's in spin-off shows.
He's never been in another movie or anything.
Dude, he was a regular on the Pete Holmes show, and he was fucking
He was
incredible.
as who?
That's that guy. He does play that guy a lot.
Well, no, remember Pete Holmes had that sketch comedy
Oh,
show?
not on
Not Waiting or whatever
Waiting.
it was. No.
Not Waiting.
You know what I'm talking about.
Falling?
Falling. I think that might be it.
Falling?
That's what I don't know. Maybe, yeah.
What was
Lamar
that
would
show
know.
called?
Balling?
No, the one with Pete Holmes, where he was a comedian.
Oh, falling down.
no, that's a
Falling
Michael
up.
Douglas movie.
No.
Falling up.
It was none of
It's not
those
falling
things.
up.
Oh my god, we're all so stupid.
Pete Holmes, the HBO show.
Yeah, it was
Falling
called,
Down.
No, it was about he was a comedian.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
called. It
And-
wasn't called
and
Falling
his
Down.
wife banged the guy in the room.
Yes,
next to him, the
exactly.
Christian.
What was it called?
I told
Falling
you,
Up.
Falling Down is a
No.
Michael Douglas movie from like
If
1990.
you say that one more
Yeah,
time,
Stop.
I'm gonna fucking run over there, man.
Sitting up.
Does anybody want to take another guess at it before?
I think it's called
find-
Falling, isn't it?
I'm gonna find
Just
out.
Falling.
Just up.
It's not up,
Just
man.
Falling down.
Crashing.
Crashing. Same thing.
That's better.
It's a
Crashing.
synonym.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was crashing up, crashing down. Fucking moron.
Then they talked about fighting.
Moron.
Which Spike TV, like there's Comedy Central, there's a lot of things that obviously made horrible decisions.
Yeah, what happened to Spike TV, eh?
It could have probably bought the UFC at the time.
They had the UFC. That was their thing. They showed
Yeah,
whatever
I think
the show was.
The UFC probably got too big for them, to be honest. But I don't know. That's
No,
a good
but
question.
what happened to Spike TV?
Writing on the wall. In any event, there's certain things that morph and become other things, and there are all these stories of execs that made horrible decisions and thought something
Things
else.
come and go, man. Dragons make mistakes in the den, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes they see a winner and they jump all over it. Sometimes they don't see the winner. It becomes a multi-billion-dollar company.
Joe was like explaining how he got into it. Commentary. It was like I was doing a point where I was losing money, and so I guess that's now why he's. You know what I was thinking he should do? He should have a Joe Rogan bonus,
Where he gives
or
$50,000.
maybe he gives 20,000 to 5 fight, something like that. I think that'd be because in the next one he talks about
You know,
it's
it'd
a
be
bit
really-
of a conflict to have. You know,
You know what'd be really cool? Is if the UFC just paid people.
yeah. Well,
That would make everybody's job easier.
Yeah, wouldn't it? I love how he's like, you know, it'd be cool if the commentator put up 50 grand of his own money to pay someone. It would really just be cool if everyone got paid something.
If everyone got it paid at least what Joe Rogan makes. How about that?
Well, he makes $500,000 a fight.
Oh,
a
that's
fight.
a
So
fight.
not a fight, but like a card. Every
card,
card he's on, he makes a half.
that's
Why,
why
what
I
does
think
he
he
make a year from the UFC?
I
How
think
do you know this?
maybe he does
he does 8.
$4 million. No, I think it's $250,000. He probably gets $2 million for a season.
I doubt it. I think they're paying him for the pass
Plus,
too, though.
Plus,
Plus what?
well, travel, accommodation, the
Yeah,
the
of
whole
course. Yeah,
setup.
but I mean that's
It's a
implied.
sweet gig. I wonder if he feels a conflict, like knowing that he's there watching these guys, as he said, like stealing your health. I don't think it's quite that because you don't get their health if you beat them up.
I mean, I'd love to hear Joe speak post UFC. I still don't think he'd ever shit on them or Dana.
I don't think he would.
But I would just like to hear him because again, we've spoken about how he just fucking dances
shuts
and
that down,
skates around the fighter pay talk. I mean, it's kind of like you're saying, he's watching a lot of these guys get their futures robbed for very little money. You know what I mean?
Like he says, I'm not even saying that. I'm saying
Yeah,
he says
I know.
this, and I wonder how he feels.
Yeah.
Especially when he like football players. Yeah, they're fucking themselves up, but they're getting paid.
Well, that's the thing. That's the difference. I can
getting
look at them
paid.
and go, they're like even the minimum guy, even the lowest guy on the roster. I know it's not guaranteed money, but he's getting a bag as long as he plays and stays healthy.
Same as long as you fight.
Yeah. So I mean, again,
And they might even get some if they get injured. Like UFC, I imagine the stories of guys that get too hurt and never come back.
I mean, listen, that's the thing too, dude. Think of how many guys you see come up in the UFC that are like going to be the next best thing, and then they get like starched. They're never the same again. And what's their lane? Like they never made enough money to comfortably,
I'm not avid enough fan to see that, but I bet you there's
Calvin
a
Kattar.
boulevard of broken dreams.
Calvin Kattar ate 765, I think it was, significant shots from Max Holloway. Didn't fight for like 9 months.
700 punches to the head.
Yeah.
700 punches to the head. Would you guys care for the spinoff? You're not. Yeah, guys didn't run and watch the movie. It's on Paramount. You had that. You don't have that.
I don't have that, no.
And if you had it, would you watch it?
Yeah, I think it's interesting that he's shifted it to like them reacting to TikToks and stuff. It's almost like Your Mom's House or something like that. I don't know, it's kind of interesting.
I think that's the new thing that's coming out. This is a more of an interdimensional.
Oh,
What
okay.
are we
They do
talking
the
about?
universe.
Beavis and
the new
Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead, which is a constant theme. Do you guys see Doctor Strange?
Yes.
No.
Dog shit.
Terrible.
Dog shit.
Terrible.
And I'll tell you why off mic.
I watched Everything Everywhere. We'll talk about that later though.
Oh, I want to watch that. I'm gonna.
Did you pay $20 to watch it?
No, I have a website. Sorry, I paid $20 to watch it. Yes, I now own the film.
Oh, could you lend it to me, Matt?
Yes.
Thanks.
Unfortunately, our review was longer than this podcast, and that's really why I thought it was lacking.
So I give it a 1.
Silicon Valley.
I give it a 1.
I was really looking forward to it.
The worst part about this was when he was first on, we were like, man, that would have been a great episode of standalone, like just Mike Judge.
All the things we wanted. Didn't
That's
happen.
it. All the yeah, we were like, it would be great to hear him talk about Silicon Valley.
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah, and then he comes on and it's like a Coke fest.
And
I give him a 1.5 sniffs.
I'm supportive. I love all his work, and I just don't think he's a
Did you rate it?
podcast guy. I give it a 1.
No,
Okay,
we
yeah.
needed more out of this episode. There should have been. I don't blame it. I don't blame Mike Judge.
Like
Well,
Joe
hold on,
says, I
though.
only bring people on I'm super interested in, and it didn't seem like Joe was too interested in Mike Judge.
Well, I want to say this. I think it was Mike Judge because he was like, I got to go catch this flight.
I think so, yeah.
But I always hate it's like, well, you know, you're going on a long form podcast. At least book yourself 3 hours.
Yeah.
Also, we didn't mention, I think Joe's on vacation. This whole week was,
was
pre-recorded.
recorded way
Yeah.
some time
Yeah.
ago. Way some time
Like
ago.
pre-Father's Day.
Yo, way some time.
That's what I'm
ago.
saying.
I think this one was like maybe 3 weeks.
This one,
old.
he said, he's like, I'm going to the UFC in Austin this weekend, which
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
know was 2
So
weeks
this is
ago.
what I'm saying. I
He
think
was
it was
definitely
like
on vacation.
So
Oh, what a
in the
tell.
can.
Yeah, I
That's
told you.
why you
Boom,
listen to
boom.
this show.
Yeah,
We bring
he
you the
was- he's-
realness.
I assume, too, he's on vacation maybe till the 4th of July. So, like, this week might be canned episodes as well. We might only get a few.
Well, I mean, the
Because he always takes 4th of July off.
Parks and Humiliation wasn't that long ago because they had Biden. They talked about Biden.
But we know
The-
that Joe next weekend is in Vegas for the UFC. There's a massive fight.
The next guy, they
Yeah.
do it again, where you know it's a canned episode.
Let's get to him.
Yeah.